Welcome to video 3. This video is going to focus on bad habits. And the main thing that I want to start with is that you shouldn't kick yourself in the teeth for having bad habits. If you found yourself doing that in the past, like I have, a way to get over that is to first understand why you have the bad habits to begin with. Obviously, nobody wants to have bad habits. So let's take a look at why we have them in the first place. One of the reasons why you have bad habits to begin with is to protect yourself from bad experiences and the feelings that come with those experiences. What you'll do is you'll cultivate a habit to protect yourself, thinking that you're actually doing something good for yourself. And this is why you shouldn't blame yourself, because your instinct is to protect yourself. When you take on a habit like drinking, smoking, taking pills, scrolling, binge watching Netflix, you're actually protecting yourself from feeling the thing that you don't want to feel. In the moment, it seems great. It seems like you're actually doing something good for yourself. But in the long term, it doesn't really move the needle forward, and it doesn't solve the problem of the pain that you're feeling. So what happens is this loop is created where you're continuously feeling this pain, getting rid of it for a moment with a bad habit, and then the pain comes back later, usually stronger. Then you think you need to double down on the bad habit. Maybe you up the dosage. Maybe you watch more TV. Maybe you spend more time on social media. And instinctually, it seems like it's going to get rid of the pain for good. But that's not really how life works. I want to share with you the thing that kept me in this circle for a long time. So I thought that I could get rid of these bad habits by just using sheer willpower and brute force. And what I would do is I would wake up and try to force good habits over those bad habits, or I would try to get rid of those bad habits completely and then implement the good habits immediately. I just wanted like fast change in my life. And what I realized is that I was overwhelming my nervous system and I couldn't handle it. And so what would happen is I might have been able to change something for a couple days, but I would quickly revert back to the old ways, and sometimes it would get even worse because I was stressing my system out. Essentially, I was trying to move faster than I was able to move, and so no progress was being made. With this framework, what we're doing first is we're examining the bad habits that we have, and then we're going to one by one get rid of those habits. What that's going to do is it's going to allow you to change safely with the goal in mind of maintaining the progress that you create for yourself. The basic exercise in this video is to examine the bad habits. What kinds of things are you doing in your life that are draining your energy and preventing you from moving the needle forward? I know that we listed a couple in the beginning of this video, and I want you to keep in mind that the reason why you've chosen to do these things is to protect yourself. Your instinctual mind believes that this is the correct thing for you to do, but the reality is that it's actually preventing you from moving forward. I also want you to realize that all of these bad habits have one thing in common. They are put in place to avoid reality and avoid feeling in the moment. Again, we're protecting ourselves from pain. So if you're doing these things to avoid facing yourself, facing your life, avoiding a feeling that's coming up, or avoiding an experience that you've had, then we can put these under the bad habit category. Examples of these things could be drinking, smoking, popping pills or taking psychedelics, scrolling on social media, calling a friend with the intent to just waste time so that you don't have to focus on your goals, cleaning your house, organizing your desk space, other busy work activities that just pass the time instead of actually giving you the time to focus on your goals, binge watching Netflix episodes, and really anything else that you can think of that you're putting in place. You're basically throwing it in the way as a distraction so that you don't have to deal with certain things in your life. And the underlying reason why we do this is because we're afraid to deal with them. We actually don't think that we can handle what life is throwing at us. And so we implement these habits to act as a crutch to protect us and keep us safe from actually having to deal with reality. And I'm here to tell you that you actually are powerful enough to deal with things. And it's actually these bad habits that are keeping you stuck and keeping you believing that you're not strong enough to deal with things. And so as we get rid of these bad habits one by one, your strength is going to start to return to you, and you're going to start to realize that you actually can handle life. You're going to feel less anxious. You're going to feel more empowered. You're going to start to awaken that inner warrior inside of you that you know has always been present. It's just that these crutches that you believe are actually helping you are harming you. We're going to start by reducing them or giving them up one by one in order to give you a sense of what it feels like to actually have the weight lifted off of you. And keep in mind, this is a process that's going to take some time, but this is actually the correct way to do it because you want this progress to stick. So imagine that it takes you a couple weeks to complete this, but the result is a new and empowered you that is going to be able to take on the world, handle the most difficult things that happen to you in life, improve your relationships, improve your quality of life, and overall improve your life experience. You're going to get more out of life. And when you think about it that way, this is totally worth it to take on. There's actually nothing better that you can do in life than work on yourself. When you decide to work on yourself in this way, you're going to be able to show up better for everyone else in your life. So here's the action part of this video. You're going to pick one habit that you want to start with, and you're either going to wean off of it as much as you can or give it up altogether. And the whole purpose of this is to see how you feel after a couple of days. You really want to reflect on the changes that are happening in your life when you do this thing less. For example, when I started, I gave up going on my phone in the evenings. So at 8 p.m., I put my phone in my office, and instead of scrolling on my phone, opening up all these different apps, I decided to read a book and put on some calming music and just take care of myself in the evenings. And it kind of felt weird at the beginning. My mind was telling me that it wasn't going to work. It was trying to convince me to just go back to using my phone. What's so bad about that? But I stuck with it, and I started to realize how overstimulated I was and why I was staying up later at night. And after a couple days, I actually started to feel more relaxed. I was less anxious during the day. So you want to notice signs like that when you start to give up these bad habits. Now, keep in mind, you're just giving up the bad habit. You're not replacing it with a good one. You're simply allowing yourself to live with that one change in your life. And after you feel you have that down, could take a couple days, it could take a week, then you can start with the next one. Again, we're not implementing any good habits yet. You're just getting rid of the bad ones. And if you feel called to do something different with that time that you've now freed up, then give that a try and see how it feels. But the point is, do not force yourself to do anything that you don't want to do. Some of my bad habits were, like I said before, I was using my phone late at night. I was also using my phone when I first woke up in the morning, which created a cortisol rush and left me overstimulated and emotional basically before I even started my day. I was staying up late on YouTube and going to bed super late, waking up groggy in the morning. I was eating too much food late into the evenings, which was weighing me down and impacting my sleep. I was also using all of these calming supplements in the evenings because I believed that I had too much energy and that I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. And miraculously, when I gave those up, I did have about 2 nights of restless sleep, but then everything just balanced out naturally. And I actually found myself getting the best sleep that I've had in over 20 years, which still is pretty surreal to even say, but I can't deny it. So when you start to give up these bad habits, you're going to notice a snowball effect in your life where they may have been creating the same levels of anxiety, the same frustrations, and as you get rid of each one by one, you're going to feel even better. That's exactly what happened for me. I want to say that when you're in the process of giving up these habits, you may feel resistance and you may feel like it's almost like you're punishing yourself. You're preventing yourself from the thing that you thought was helping you. And you may even feel more pain in the beginning. And what you want to remind yourself during this time is that you're allowing yourself to feel these emotions for the first time in probably a long time. And so it makes sense that things are worse right now, but they will get better. Your body will adapt to these feelings. And this is not a punishment. This is a gift that you're giving yourself. And you want to realize that the pain that you're feeling now is actually so much less than the pain you would feel in the long run if you chose to keep numbing yourself and avoiding that feeling. And that's what's going to help push you through this exercise. If you find yourself struggling with this, I urge you to get help from a friend or a trusted family member, a therapist or a coach, or a group. And I've actually done most of these things. I have a coach, I have a group that I go to weekly, actually 2 groups. And I want to share that with you because this isn't weakness. This is actually a form of self-love. You are supporting yourself in doing this. And if you're struggling, it's okay. I struggled too. But you want to give yourself what you need to be able to push through and make this happen for yourself, because this change is worth it for you. This is going to be one of the best things that you've ever done in your life. And the last thing that I want to say here is that by giving up these bad habits, you're not losing anything. You're actually making space for who you're becoming. And that's huge. So give this a shot. Pick one habit today to start with. I would actually recommend checking in with yourself every day somehow, or every 3 days, until you feel totally comfortable with the habit you've given up. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to add good habits into your life once you've cleared most of or all of the bad habits out of your life. Once you realize it's possible to feel better by getting rid of the things that have been holding you down, you're going to be more inspired to add good habits into your life, because it'll be more of a sure thing that you're going to feel even better after this is put in place. So make sure you take action on this, and I'll see you in the next video.